Hi guys, it is Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and I wanted to do a library haul today. So I've just been up to the library and I got a few new books, and I have a couple of books from the last time I was at the library that I never showed you guys, so I thought I would do a September library haul. So the first two books I have here are from the last time I was at the library, and one of them is this ginormous book, which is 4321 by Paul Auster. This is one of the Man Booker long list books, and it is really long. How long is this? It is 860 pages almost, and yeah, as far as I know, this is kind of like the different lives of one man if he made different choices or something. It's like we see different versions of his life. I think that's what it's about, but it does look really interesting. It's really heavy though, so it's not one I don't think I'll be able to like carry around with me. So it might be one I might just have to read like 100 pages or so every night when I'm home after work, which I think I might start doing tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, that should be pretty interesting. The next book I have here is a YA book, and it is The Pearl Thief by Elizabeth Wine. I had seen this quite a lot on my library app on audiobook, and I was interested in it, but I wasn't like really bad to read it. And then I realised after watching someone's review of it, I realised that it's actually a mild kind of prequel to Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine, because the girl in this, Julia, is actually one of the main characters in Codename Verity, and this is like about her before the events of Codename Verity, and that just made me like want to pick it up straight away. And then I had reserved this as an audiobook on my library app, but then I ended up seeing the physical copy in the library, so I picked that up instead and cancelled my reservation for the audiobook. And I'm going to start this really soon, I think maybe tonight on the train. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this, and it should be really good, and just getting back and seeing Julia before we knew her in Codename Verity will be really fun. So I have my tote bag here of all the books that are falling out and the first book I have here is one I actually had reserved, and it is Solar Bones by Mike McCormick, and this is also one of the Man Booker long list prizes. It's a pretty short book, as you can see. I think it's about a man, yeah, it's a man who's dead, and he's telling his story, I think. But the interesting thing about this is that there is no punctuation in it, there's no full stops, so it's kind of like the entire book is told in like one sentence. And that just was like really intriguing to me, so I really want to see what I think about this kind of style of writing. And yeah, again, just really excited to read it. Shouldn't take too long, so that should be fun. The next book I have here is also a short one, and it is Shy Goodness Shire by Vivek Shambag, and apologies if I said any of that wrong, and I'm not 100% sure how to say it. I should have checked it, but I'm literally just home from the library and haven't been online, so I actually should have checked really before. But this again is a really short book, and it's about a family in India whose prospects change when they suddenly come into a lot of money. And I think it's just the tale of how maybe this money changes them a little bit. And I've heard really good things about it. I think what I've heard is that this is the first book of this author's that has actually been translated into English, but he has loads of other books, presumably in Indian, I would think. But I've heard really good things about this, so I just happened to see it in the library and picked it up to give it a go, seeing as it's really short, so it shouldn't take me too long to read. The next book I have here is a fantasy book, and I've actually never heard of this fantasy book before. I just saw it on the shelves, I thought it was the first in the series, so I decided to pick it up, and it is Floyds Pride by Evie Manieri, and obviously I don't know anything about it, so I'll just read from the back of the book. And it is: generations have passed since the Norlanders' great ships bore down on Shadar, and the dead ones slashed and burnt the city into submission, enslaving the Shadari people. Now the Norlander governor is dying, and as his 3 children struggle against the crushing isolation of their lives in the desert, the time has come for the Shadari to fight back, and they have a secret weapon: the Mongrel, an unbeaten mercenary warrior. But the Mongrel's terms are unsettling. She will name her price only after the Norlanders have been defeated, leaving the Shari to decide, is any price too high for freedom? So that just seems really cool to me. I really like the cover of it, so we'll see. I love picking up like fantasy books in the library that I've never heard of. The next book here is The Trouble with Goats and Sheep by Joanna Cannon. This is one I've heard a lot of, but I've never actually really wanted to pick it up. But it just happens to be the book for my Facebook book club that I'm part of. It seems as I was in the library, I would just see if it was there, and it was there, so I've picked it up to give it a go. We'll see. I don't really know anything about this. Something to do with a tale about suburban life in 1970s Britain. So yeah, we'll see. And the last book here I got mostly because of the cover and the title. And this is the cover. As you can see, it is absolutely beautiful. It kind of has all this gold and shimmers. And the floating theatre. And I was just like, floating theatre, I am there. And it's written by Martha Conway. And it is about a woman in, is there a year here? It doesn't say a year, but it's about a woman who basically, 1838. It's about a woman who is a seamstress, and she finds work on this floating theatre on the Ohio River. And that just sounds amazing. So that's all I needed to know. A floating theatre. I'm there. And a beautiful cover. So yeah, we will see if this is good. So stay tuned for when I read this one. So that's everything I have picked up from the library lately. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, if you've gotten any really good reads from the library lately, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!